right, so let me quickly introduce our guests for this conversation. Antoinette Ashong is Chair, Ghana Montessori Foundation, and early childhood practitioner.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, and then Palam Oyiye, Development Officer and Secretary, OMEP Ghana.
What does OMEP stand for?
Indeed.
OMEP means World Organization for Early Childhood Education.
Okay.
So this is the English acronym.
Okay, okay.
In actual fact, the meaning of OMEP is French. Organisation Mondiale d'Éducation Préscolaire.
One time. Love the French. So, but you're welcome. Here we speak English. So we thank you for teaching us
Certainly.
that. So let's kick off. Why is play so important?
Play is important because it forms the integral part of our learning and then the development of every being. We're referring to children right from the development of the fetus in the womb. Play begins from there. In fact, the movement of the fetus in the womb, it's even termed a kind of interaction where the child is already experiencing a kind of play.
Really? Somersaulting inside the
Exactly. So it's important that parents are very active and then they can move about and be okay so that the child to evolve. Now, if the child comes out, then begins play. Play can be in many forms. The child comes out unoccupied, right at the baby stage. At the infant stage, the child is just there unoccupied. As the child develops through life, the child begins to interact with the environment. So you see the child being occupied with materials, human beings, the immediate playmates are actually the parents and the family.
Indeed. So that's how crucial it is, and we're talking developing their cognitive skills, and the rest.
Yes, before I get in there, he said from the fetus. And I want to refer us to the Bible a little bit when Elizabeth said, as soon as the baby in my womb heard the greetings of Mary, it jumped for joy. It tells you how sound makes a child move in the womb. And jumping for joy means he starts to play with the sound that he has heard from the womb. Play is so important. It helps develop in all areas: cognitive, physical development, social development, and emotional development. Without play, children would not learn well. I was telling Mr. Parham that you will realize that children remember what happened on the playground more than what happened in the classroom. So if we channel our learning activities through play, children learn a lot. Physical development, fine motor skills development is very important to the development of the child's writing and movement. Without fine motor skills, we can't be able to write, to jump. Athletes, needs to do a lot of play on the field. Emotionally, it also helps children to take turns in doing things. And if we make sure that we learn through play, or the practitioners teach children through play, it helps so many developments.
So in much as, today we talk about how that the American kind of education is playful, I think that they play but kind of learn out of most of the things that they do. Sometimes they're just scribbling, they're just drawing, they're just doing all sorts of things, but then they tend to learn so much from it. Some are playing piano. I've seen someone play piano, and then I'm told that there's something, they're actually picking up from there. It's all supposed to be exercising, their physical being, but as well they are picking up a lot from there.
Yeah.
That's how it works for you.
Yes, and it's emotional development. It helps a person understand himself. It helps a person to become independent. It helps a person to become confident. It helps a person solve problems with play. I tell people that as soon as you give materials for children to play with, as adults, we are limited because of economic hardships and all that. But because a child has a free mind, he's able to create things out of everything you give the child to play with.
I am wondering whether Ghanaian children have lots of opportunities for play, Mr. Yiye.
Unfortunately, no. Ghanaian children are almost limited in play because of issues of technology. They are not, like we have said earlier, they are not actually moving their physical being. And we will talk about play to encompass the holistic development of every developing child. So if you talk about the holistic development, and these are the areas that Antoinette mentioned, the physical, the emotional, the psychological, the spiritual. So all these comes together to have the holistic development of the children. But you realize that the Ghanaian child is limited. It's limited in terms of space. There is even no space. There are even no playground all around. It's been converted to all forms of commercial houses, buildings, and the likes of it. I mean, issues about technology has restricted the child to actually engage the whole being to do or perform a kind of play. And the technology, if you give a child any phone right now, if any child gets access to your phone, the first thing it wants to do is to play a game. Now, if you do that, you are only developing an aspect of your development, and that is the cognitive. Now, it could also generate fun for you as you interact with the mobile phone or any other game that you play. And whilst you fidget with that gadget, that technological gadget, you are also just developing your fine motor skills, as she said. So it's also limited to your physical development. But in terms of play, play is fun, play is exciting, play is exploratory. And you need to run around, you need to touch. That is why it's more important that the immediate playmate for children are their parents. But the Ghanaian child has been limited and constrained because career parents now do not have
Mommy is waking
much
up early,
time.
going to
Yes.
work. Daddy's same. They come back late. Nobody to play with them when they come back from school. So we're going to have issues, and these compound over time, I believe.
Yeah.
How damaging is that?
It's
Antoinette?
so damaging. It's so stressful because at the end of the day, the child is not free to do the things he has to do. The child is not creative anymore. The child is thinking one way. Sometimes we say that these days, because of technology, as he has said, we are looking more at the child writing in the classroom, learning instead of exploring to acquire knowledge. So these days is damaging. It's not making the child able to interact with the friends, understand the friends, where they can take turns, which is one of the very important things, where they look at rules and regulations. What do I do first? What do I do next? Where they look at accepting people's opinions. Okay, you go, the next is me. And where they have to understand that during play, when you lose the game, it's part of, playing, So with these things, we realize that with the parents not having time, and then parents also do not understand the importance of playing.
Okay, so I was actually coming to that, it could be the lack of understanding,
Yes.
lack of awareness, ignorance. Conversation right now, the significance of play for children of all ages. You were making that point, Mrs. Shong. And for me, it is very crucial because what has been the level of awareness among parents when it comes to play?
Seriously, we are limited. Very limited because most of the time, parents complain, children are playing and they are playing too much. What they need them to do is to sit and write. But if we are able to let them understand that through play, the child is going to learn what they expect them to learn. It's easy for them to then understand play, then be able to socialize, because play is also socialization. Indeed. Play is emotional development, understanding each other. They can take away a lot of the stress, the challenges at home, if they allow children to play. So we would say that the parents should encourage the schools to use play as a learning tool.
Mr. Parlam, you talk about the non-existence of playgrounds. I know that at the school level there's a lot that is done in terms of play, but so that on vacations, and usually I say this, that apart from the holidays like Christmas, the Easter holidays when the kids are home, that they get to, you know, get the opportunity to be able to play out, they don't do much. Because then you go to school, after school, you come home, you have homework. And parents expect you to get immediately to your homework. You know, so there's no time to engage in any form of play.
Yes, I think that at this point in time, I think I would say I'm the craziest parent when it comes to play.
Share your own experience with us.
Yes, my kids go to school early morning from 6, and they are coming back at 6 with homework. And they virtually do nothing in the house. Now, school activity is almost like an academic pursuit.
That's what's happening in Ghana now.
And what we are reducing this academic pursuit is just to develop cognitive ability, which we are not even using in the adult world or in the job market when they grow and they progress through tertiary education. It's important for every parent to know that play cuts across all ages. And it's important that we reduce the workload from school and allow children to play. And even that, as we speak, children can learn better through play at school. We were just sharing something when I chipped in to say that it's unfortunate that today, if you go to various schools, it's more about cognitive development, giving them activities that will make them just glued to the book. Meanwhile, a teacher should be able to be creative, should be able to give a lot of illustrations, to be able to dramatize, to engage the children.
So even the teaching methods.
The teaching method is even a problem, of course. So the teaching method should reflect play now and make the children use their body. Then they can combine the cognitive ability together with the kinesthetic movement, because you need the body also to move. Physical education,
indeed,
which is supposed to be on our timetable now, has been taken off.
Along with music.
Of course,
Yeah,
and giving way to extra classes. All these are a problem. So we are trying to emphasize the point on play through all ages. So everybody should have the opportunity to play and play and engage themselves in an indigenous play. Not just play, but play that is fun, exciting, entertaining. And then we can also have purposeful play, which can go further for academic pursuits.
Of course. And Antoinette, I think you have some things you can show us.
Yes.
It's not just
Yes.
tell, but show.
Yes.
Things that can help with play.
Yes. I am an early childhood practitioner, and I'm so passionate about play. So I insist that teachers teach or impart the knowledge they are doing through play. Like Mr. Parham says, now we parents do not have a choice. We leave at 6, we come back at 6. The traffic the children go through before getting home, they get so tired. So if we can let teachers understand and teach through play, the child will acquire the knowledge at ease, and the child would also become very creative. This is an activity of teaching. Okay, this is just a rectangle, but we have just cut ordinary sheets. So the child passes the thread through it, and through that he's developing fine motor skills. And it's not, the teacher is not teaching all of you circle, all of you rectangle, but through play, he's trying to create something out of what he has.
And by these things, you don't necessarily need any special materials for it. You can use, anything around you.
That's it.
I see cardboard.
Cardboard. Just, we use card so that the child will be very creative, so that when he sees the cards around, he will know that I can use this for something. But once the child starts using cards, ordinary cards and thread, although he's playing, he's also learning. And so if we will insist that play will be inculcated in our teaching method, they can have outdoor play, they go out of the classroom, Even when they are learning their sound, they are learning their numbers. Jump 3 times. They are learning the number 3, but through play. You know, and it takes stress off. I was just telling Mr. Palm, when it's break now, the children are so excited. They want to go out of the classroom.
Yeah, and the volumes in the school,
You
the
know,
volume level goes up.
It does.
You know it's break time.
You see?
'Cause that's a favorite time of the
They
day.
play hard.
They play hard. So through this play, a teacher can just organize a fun activity where they play and then they learn. Take turns, you know.
And then you learn through play.
Through play.
Tomorrow is World Play Day. What's the significance of this day to us in Ghana, and what should we expect from the celebration of this day?
Tomorrow is World Play Day, 28th May. So every year, 28th May is designated for World Play Day. And this year's theme is Play for All Ages. We are encouraging parents, grandparents, teachers, the school kids themselves to come out and play, have a kind of indigenous play, 2-man-2, AMP3, all the kind of traditional play that will really engage their totality. It is very important that we celebrate this day for parents and career parents to know that play is very important. They must make time and play with the children, just as they did when the children were young.
It's so, I think that in general, you're just trying to tell us that it part of that package that seeks to nurture the genes in your child.
Yeah.
So it cannot be underestimated.
At all. At all.
What's your your message to teachers and parents concerning
My
play?
message is to teachers, please let the children play. Sometimes we understand when they play, they hurt themselves, but it's all part of growing up. That is why teachers must go out of the classroom with the kids to organize the play. Parents, try your possible best, one, to ask the schools if they are using play as a learning tool. If the schools know that they must use play as a learning tool, it becomes easy for them to train their teachers to use play to learn. And parents, please play with your kids.
Mr. Shona, as you talk about teachers, role in all of this, I'm thinking that as teachers, they work with under instructions, let me put it that way. What has been the level of engagement? School authorities, the Ghana Education Service, because then it has to trickle down from somewhere.
Yeah. What fortunately, OMEP organized a workshop for teachers. So we have taught them how to organize play activities with the children. So we think that we are making impacts gradually, and we are sure to get there.
Okay.
Play is important.
All right, it's really important. So thank you very much, Antoinette Ashong, Chair for the Ghana Montessori Foundation and Early Childhood Practitioner, and Mr. Palham Oyiye, Development Officer and Secretary of OMEP Ghana. I think I like your theme so much. Play for all ages. And I think because, you see, I don't think our parents were discussing physics or quantum science when they decided to make all of us. I'm sure they were also playing, and that was play at the adult level. And we're all here because of that. So thank you very much.
And that is Kafui for you. But I didn't get the venue.
Yes.
Are we really commemorating this as an event?
Yeah, so we are commemorating this rather on 31st.
Which is Monday.
Oh, because tomorrow is the weekend.
Yeah, so that will be on Tuesday. And the venue is the Model Nursery, the National Nursery Teacher Training Center at Reach. So it starts at 10 a.m. and then we are expecting the Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection to come and be the guest speaker, and then we have very important people also to be part. We are inviting the general public and parents, everybody to come and celebrate with the children.
All right.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Very well said. Thank you once again.
And have a great weekend. Have a playful weekend.
You too.
All right. Do you follow football? Do you follow football? Yeah, I do. Who's going to win? Real Madrid or Atletico?
I don't go European.
So what do you go?
I'm national.
So in Ghana, who do you support?
Hearts of Folk.
Are they winning this year?
Oh, the man is not sure.
I'm not sure. Are you a sport person? Do you play? What's your favorite game?
You take a play. You don't have any.
What's your favorite game?
Ampe.
Ampe. I'll challenge you.
Okay.
Right now.
All right.
Can I challenge you?
Yes.
Come on, let's play. Let's play. Come on. Let's go. Boom, boom.
Okay, so while at that, let me just say that it is not over yet, though, because AJ Sapong joins us in a bit with music.
You're not bad. Oh, wow. Thank you very much.
That was a good one.